Been Karina Cavallo with ABC News. There's another twist in the Queensland rail saga that's seen unending delays in the delivery of a new fleet of trains worth $4.5 billion. The ABC can tonight reveal the company responsible is also having trouble meeting orders overseas. Live to state political reporter Josh Bavis. Josh, where else is this unfolding?
Well, Karina, two separate public transport projects in Toronto, Canada have been significantly set back because of problems with the Canadian-based manufacturer Bombardier. Now, it's the same company that's behind schedule to deliver Queensland's new fleet. In the last few years, that business, which is one of the biggest transportation companies in the world, has come under significant financial pressure. This is one of Toronto's new streetcars.
We will roll these streetcars out onto all of the existing routes.
By now, the Canadian city should have had about 120. So far, only 35 have been delivered. The international manufacturer, Bombardier, has repeatedly failed to meet deadlines, with some carts sent back for modification.
Since 2012, there's been 5 different times now where the company has revised its schedule.
Sound familiar? It's the same company building Queensland's new fleet of 75 trains, which are already significantly behind schedule. Transport reporter Ben Spur has spent months investigating Bombardier's woes in Canada. Similar to Queensland's issues, the Toronto streetcars had accessibility issues among other problems.
So they have a special wheelchair ramp that's fitted for Toronto's streets and for the streetcar platforms at stations. But there was a long-running dispute over whether or not Bombardier had actually delivered on the specifications for that wheelchair ramp.
The Minister for Transport there is also trying to rip up Bombardier's separate contract for trains on a different project, the Light Rail Transit Line. He's now engaged Bombardier's competitor to deliver new trains on top of that in case Bombardier's trains aren't delivered on time.
As Minister of Transportation, I refuse to stand idly by during this time of uncertainty.
The two parties are fighting it out in court.
Both sides remain locked in negotiations over the fate of the Bombardier order.
Back in Queensland, only 15 of the 75 new trains have been delivered, but none are online. The rollout should have started last year. The Queensland Government has not paid the manufacturer any money for the trains, other than about $60 million for a maintenance centre at Ipswich. But it won't confirm if it will pursue compensation over the late delivery and rectification work. In 2015, Bombardier's CEO admitted the company had been on the verge of bankruptcy, but has since changed his tune. The Canadian government is handing out a $370 million interest-free loan to bolster the company. In a statement, Q-Tectic, the private-public entity organising the Queensland deal, said for all new train projects, especially of this size and complexity, it is not uncommon to experience some delays as issues are identified during testing and rectified accordingly.
So, Josh, what has the state government had to say?
Well, Karina, the Deputy Premier, Jackie Tradd, who took over the portfolio earlier this year, says she still has full confidence that the consortium can deliver all 75 trains before the end of next year. The union says, though, that had the trains been built here locally in Australia, none of these issues would have emerged.
Okay, Josh Bavis there.